Good evening, I'm Lisa Broom with the Monday, March 2nd edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, Barbados is now in a better position to deal with tsunamis and earthquakes, but some deficiencies have been identified which the authorities are hoping to correct. This was revealed during the media launch of the Tsunami and Earthquake Smart Month of activities at the Department of Emergency Management's Warren's headquarters this morning. Lisa Lord reports.
Over the years, Barbados has conducted several simulation exercises to test its readiness for natural disasters like tsunamis and earthquakes. Those drills, however, have revealed some weaknesses. Director of the Coastal Zone Management Unit, Dr. Lorna Innes, says deficiencies were seen within the communication systems.
We had done an evacuation exercise with the Martins Bay community, and we had a number of volunteers and members of the National Emergency Management System who were working in the community while the Standing Committee on Coastal Hazards and other members of the National Emergency Management System were in this room. And there was constant communication between us and them, but part of the issue, the challenge was the communication of the actual warning.
To strengthen communication, authorities are looking to establish a common alerting protocol, one that would notify not just the authorities, but every Barbadian. A pilot program is currently underway in Holetown,
which will become, we hope, the platform on which every Barbadian will receive a message concerning an earthquake and a tsunami in the region.
Since Barbados is surrounded by water, the head of the Department of Emergency Management, Judy Thomas, says Barbadians should know how to swim in the event that a large wave washes ashore. It's for this reason that she wants to see a national swimming program in schools.
I really think that because we're an island, there are not a lot of people that are comfortable with the sea. A lot of adults are not comfortable with the sea, and certainly once there's fear about the sea, they instill this fear in their own children. And I think that I want to challenge my department to run with it, as well as to provide some leadership to it, but also the Ministry of Education and the volunteers in our community to take it up.
The majority of the island's hotels and other tourist-related businesses are along the coasts. Program officer at the DEM, Daniel Skeet, says these establishments are aware of the impact a natural disaster could have and are getting prepared as well.
They've been asking for help with regards to the putting together plans. There are quite a few. There was one of them that we went to that had actually wanted to do a drill.
And we also checked in with Barbadians to see if they would be prepared in the event of a tsunami or earthquake. There was a mixed response.
I would go into this building.
I really don't know.
If enough rainfall, we know what to do. Hurricane shelter. But if a tsunami hit, we just don't know what to really do. And that is gospel truth.
They say you run to higher grounds or higher buildings and then kind of thing. So, because like for instance, if you're in Bridgetown, it will be hard. You'll go look for climb a coconut tree or something because Bridgetown is very low.
We gotta get the highest ground. Nowhere near sea level, get the highest ground away from sea level.
If there's a tsunami, I will go to higher ground, and if there's an earthquake, I would go in the open so that debris or anything doesn't fall on me.
A hill or up some hill or something, you know, because the tsunami can be coming up, so you gotta run to the top where you could be safe.
Lisa Lord, CBC News.
Thanks, Lisa. A new dress code is in force for the PSV sector, and the Transport Authority is seeking full compliance by operators and conductors. The dress code, which came into effect yesterday, specifies that both male and female drivers and conductors must wear short-sleeved shirts with buttons. Men should wear ankle-length pants, while women have the option of ankle-length pants or knee-length skirts. Minister of Transport Michael Lashley tells CBC News standards across the spectrum are important. He says the matter of wearing uniforms is on the law books of Barbados.
If you check the road traffic regulations, once that uniform is approved by the authority, licensing authority, because, of course, the road traffic, the regulations for the Transport Authority Act, they are not enforced yet. So the road traffic regulations still stands. I want to make that clear. The road traffic regulations still stands with respect to uniforms until the Transport Authority regulations comes in force. Then the regulations of the Road Traffic Act will be repealed. So as it stands now today, the regulations, particularly relating to uniform under the Road Traffic Act, is still law. I want to say that to the owners, and I want to say that to the drivers and the conductors.
Mr. Lashley says there is a penalty if the regulation is not adhered to.
It carries a maximum fine of $1,000. My view is that all it needs to be enforced. So we're asking, and in fact, I want to compliment the Royal Barbados Police Force for having some meetings with us last week and looking into it and looking at ways and means how they're going to enforce it. It may not happen today, and particularly in terms of the enforcement, but I can guarantee you that the members of the Royal Barbados Police Force, they are looking at how they're going to have it implemented in terms of enforcement.
Meantime, the Association of Public Transport Operators maintains it should not have taken legislation for PSV operators and conductors to wear uniforms. Its opposition interim chairman Maurice Lee says his association has supported and he agrees regulation is important.
The workers can be prosecuted for not wearing the appropriate uniform, so we have to take a wait-and-see approach. I believe my position has not changed. One does not need legislation to dress properly. It should go without saying.
Residents of one of the newest communities have banded together to ensure their development is always safe and remains a place to call home, as its slogan suggests. Coverley is the latest community to embrace the Neighborhood Watch scheme, launching the initiative in the presence of residents, the Royal Barbados Police Force, and representatives of the constituency of St. Philip West. Chairman of the Coverley Residents Association, Christopher Simmons, saluted the partners in the initiative and called on the residents there to ensure it remains active and relevant.
There is no doubt, therefore, that while the Resident Association Committee provides the leadership, this is and always will be a community project and a community achievement. And I thank you, residents, for your support and your participation thus far. It has been pivotal.
Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Euclid Thompson welcomed the Neighborhood Watch and called on the body to ensure decisions are made in the best interest of all.
Instead of yielding to the views of an individual person. There's no doubt that when there's good communication, respect, and understanding amongst neighbors, the village structure tends to remain strong and secure. Use your resources skillfully to derive maximum benefit from all concerned. There have been a few reports of crime in this development, with one resident being the main target.
And Chairman of the Barbados Agricultural Development and Marketing Corporation, Sean Tudor, spoke on behalf of the Minister of Agriculture and MP for the area, Dr. David Estwick. He told residents of Coverley their concerns are being addressed.
Dr. Estwick committed to assisting in reducing the areas of risk by improving the lighting, especially at that entrance on the other side. And I understand that the community has requested that, and also we're looking forward to an improved bus service, and you've asked for these things.
We'll have more news after the break, but first we want to get your take on this question. Should earthquake and tsunami drills be mandatory every year for Barbadians? Text yes or no to short code 8111. We'll have the results at the end of the news.
When you need freedom to express yourself, there's nothing like the home you own. Let Scotiabank open the door for you with advice and payment options that match your budget. Visit us today. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
The first cooking channel featuring local and regional chefs serving up a non-stop diet of delightful dishes and drink mixes has been launched on the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation's MCTV. Kent Jerson has that story.
From 11 this morning, the Caribbean Cooking Channel went live on CBC's MCTV. This new channel of mouth-watering delights is a collaboration between its CEO, Darren Holder, and MCTV. Speaking on CBC's The Mix, Mr. Holder says there is no shortage of talented chefs and mixologists on the island.
Barbados has a lot of talented chefs. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of them and mixologists.
And locals won't be the only ones cooking up a storm on Channel 117.
There are other producers in the Caribbean besides myself that produce cooking shows in their own territories.
Yes.
So I'm in the process of acquiring some of those programs to be aired here. And it will always be fresh because I'm always shooting new shows. I mean, I filmed this weekend, I filmed last weekend. I have a whole set of shooting scheduled this week. That's what we do.
Mr. Holder says viewers may also get to see chefs facing off, similar to another popular international show.
We're also looking to do something similar to Chopped, which we're working on right now, where the average chef can come and compete against some of the professional chefs to win a grand prize.
Commenting on the collaboration, Chief MCTV Officer Andrew Green says it's part of efforts to provide customers with the best experience. According to him, there's also export potential.
My vision really is that in 3-5 years that we'll be in a position to offer a channel like Trident 10, like Caribbean Cooking Channel, to those providers within the U.S. and outside of the U.S.
The Caribbean Cooking Channel is available in all MCTV packages. Kent Jerson, CBC News.
Kent, thank you. Suggestions tonight that Barbadians still do not know enough about the indigenous black-belly sheep. These comments from the owner of the Earth Mother Botanicals, Sandra Weeks, over the weekend as she spoke to CBC at the annual Agrafest exhibition being held in Queen's Park. Today, that company has started to manufacture beauty products in the form of a black-belly sheep milk and molasses soap. She says research is still being conducted to determine some of the byproducts that can be produced from the animal.
The black-belly sheep is not one to be milked, it's not raised to be a milking animal, but the Greenland research team have been able to get them to produce quite a lot of milk this year, and we're looking forward to continually working with them and receiving more milk and producing this high-end health and tourism aspect beauty care product.
Meantime, Chairman of the Livestock Committee at Agrafest, Jerry Thomas, also shared his role in the project.
I started supplying them on a small amount. It used to take us maybe 3-4 days to get the amount to supply them with, because the sheep does not give enough milk like a cow or a goat. And we have to wait so after the animals have been weaned. During that period of weaning the lambs, that's the time that we started collecting milk.
Barbados will raise awareness and celebrate people with disabilities as activities to mark the month of the disabled got underway yesterday. A service was held at the Vauxhall Methodist Church, attended by Minister of Social Care Steve Blackett, Barbadians, and the various associations championing the causes of the differently abled. President of the Barbados Council for the Disabled and President of the Senate, Senator Kerry Ann Eiffel, encouraged Barbadians to reflect on the theme for the month, Here Today, Here to Stay, Come Get to Know Us.
Too often persons with disabilities are considered the them, the others, the outsiders, the misunderstood, the left out. This month, we invite all persons to get acquainted with the persons with disabilities in your communities, your workplaces, your schools, your children's schools, your churches, wherever you congregate, because disability is a fact of life.
Minister of Social Care, Steve Blackett, believes there's still some way to go in spite of the challenges people with disabilities have overcome over the years. Minister Blackett told the congregation there is need for a conducive environment for all.
As a nation, we are about to celebrate 49 years of independence and the achievements made towards a better life for all. One of those achievements has been to create a society that has begun to include delivery on the rights of people with disabilities. To this end, my ministry, through the National Disabilities Unit, will continue to foster the integrative process by creating a supportive environment that will favor the integration and participation in society of all persons with disabilities.
A word of advice to parents: pay closer attention to how you raise your children. It comes from Barbados' most recent centenarian, Sister Maisie Williams. She made the comments during a service of Thanksgiving and celebration in her honor at the Bank Hall New Testament Church of God. Tributes were paid in song and in the administering of the word as the Lady of the Hour sat basking in the commendations. Ms. Williams says many of the youth are wayward because parents don't administer the care and discipline needed for the child's development, and so many of the children are rebellious.
They can tell you I was an obedient child. Not like the children today, not like the young people today. You can't say nothing to them. You can't speak to them. They're ready to follow you. They don't have no manners. They don't have no behavior. But that is not good. When you train up the child the way it should go, it keeps them until old age. And I am an humble old lady here where I am.
In addition, Sister Williams says parents need to instill an attitude of hard work in their children. She says she never shirked hard work as it never killed anyone, and her long life is testimony to that.
I work hard. These hands work hard. Young people today don't want no work. They don't want to work, but they want money. You know what? They're doing bad to get the money. But do good, and good will attend you down to old age.
Still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. But first, a reminder that we want to hear from you on this question. Should earthquake and tsunami drills be mandatory every year for Barbadians? Text yes or no to short code 8111. You'll have the result for you.